Welcome to the Rasslin Cafe podcast with your hosts, KillaK and Big Southern. Follow them on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe and at Big Southern. Check out the website at www.theraslincafe.com. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
KillaK and Big Southern.
We don't just set the bar, we are the bar.
KillaK and Big Southern. KillaK and Big Southern.
We are the bar.
Rasslin Cafe. Bitch.
That's right. What's up, everybody? It's KillaK and Big Southern, the Rasslin Cafe, and we are back. Of course, I'm the homeboy, your host, KillaK, and I got my homeboy, as I said, Big Southern with me. What up, dog?
What's going on, my brother?
SummerSlam weekend, man. It's finally here, and along with NXT TakeOver, man. So how you feeling, bro?
Well, I'm always excited around this time of year. Just like with, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, all of that good stuff, It's just the excitement of those pay-per-views, I think, that gets to me, regardless of the card.
No, I agree, man, because, SummerSlam has always been considered one of those, quotes, big fours, one of the big fours.
Yep.
And this weekend for SummerSlam it looks like a decent card, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we're going to get into that later on and give our predictions and stuff, but before we do, our social medias and how you guys can contact us out there. On Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe, at Big Southern as well on Twitter. You can find us on YouTube by typing in the Rasslin Cafe. And wherever you get your podcasts, you can subscribe there as well. And Facebook.com/ The Rasslin Cafe. We're seeing a lot more likes on our page, and don't forget that it's a $100 giveaway for when we reach 100 likes, and we're almost there, folks. So we're getting close, and we appreciate the support. And just to let y'all know, we do all this. We are an independent podcast, which basically means we're not tied to anybody. You know what I'm saying? We got no ads, we got no sponsors, nothing. It's just straight two homies from the hood, you know what I'm saying, doing this podcast. So we appreciate the support in any way, shape, or form. And what I mean, and also to elaborate more on the independent thing is, we record it, we edit it our own selves. There ain't no third party, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So show us some love, and if you have showed us some love in the past, we appreciate it. And this is why we are doing these giveaways, to show our appreciation to our listeners. And you want to add to any of that, Southern?
Yeah, we just ask that you all, start, interacting and letting us, let us know what you think. We would appreciate it, whether it's positive, negative, in between, whatever the case may be. Let us know what you think, and, we will greatly appreciate that.
And speaking of what we think, let's go into the news. I know there's kind of bit stuff that we can talk about going on out there. First and foremost, happy belated birthday to Miss Bliss. She turned 29 years old on August 9th, the women's champion on Raw. And congratulations to Carl Anderson, who welcomed his 4th child on August 8th. I think it was a boy that he had, if I remember correctly. What else is there?
I thought that Alexa Bliss was younger than that.
Nope.
Wow.
29 years old, man. I got a niece the same age as her, bro.
That is wild. Okay.
And, of course, just recently, just a few days ago, as of this recording, Jim the Anvil Neidhart was passed away at the age of 63.
Yep, the latest casualty.
That caught a lot of people, by surprise, because, Neidhart has been, quote-unquote, under the radar and out of the spotlight for a while.
Yeah.
And, apparently he had, what did it say, dementia, and he fell in his house. Yeah,
it said something about he was suffering from seizures.
Yeah, that too.
And apparently he had a grandma seizure and hit his head, and they said something like it was a 4-inch gash in his head or whatever. So that did catch a lot of people by surprise.
When I think of Neidhart, I think of when back in the late 80s when tag team wrestling was really popping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Hart Foundation, Demolition, the Bushwhackers, the Rockers, the Killer Bees, Strike Force.
Yeah, all of that.
They really put tag teams on the map. Or would you tend to disagree with that?
Do you mean now or then?
Back then.
Are you saying that they were that? Wait a minute. Say what you said again.
That they really was the definition of what a tag team is. And
oh yeah, absolutely. They have gotten away from that a lot today. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is with Neidhart was his character. I've always loved his laugh. When I was growing up watching him with Bret Hart, I would always look forward to his promos, man, because he would always just have me bust a gut, bro.
Yeah. And they just, I don't know, man. It's,
And, go on.
I was just going to say, I thought that, the Hart Foundation, they were, to me, kind of underrated at that time. And I think that people really started showing more appreciation after it was all said and done.
Yeah, isn't that how it normally is, though? I mean, it's like, okay, for example, Brock Lesnar. Okay, people are going to be shitting all over what's going on now. And people might come back after he's gone for a minute. We kind of miss Brock Lesnar. Or he was actually pretty good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I know what you mean, though. So, rest in peace to his family. And our condolences go out to his daughter.
Yeah.
And in other news, as it relates to, people passing on, I know we're late to the game, but back in, July 22nd, Sunday of last month, Brian Christopher Lawler and Nikolai Volkov passed away. So Nikolai at the age of 70, and to Sexay, Brian Christopher, the age of 46.
Yeah.
Found dead in his cell. Thoughts about those individuals, bro?
And I enjoyed Nikolai more when he joined up with the $1 Million Man, when the $1 Million Man first, came back to wrestling or whatever, and he basically had Nikolai as just basically as his bodyguard type hitman, and that's the type. Well, he did a lot of stuff before then too. And of course, we all know that Brian Christopher Lawler was a part of the, oh goodness, what was the name of that? Too Cool. And they were with Rikishi, you know, and they had a lot of good moments back in the Attitude Era with those guys. And, you know, it was really sad to hear that. And, you know, everybody, I know it's still under investigation and everything, but, you know, everybody at first was thinking that he killed himself, but it's looking like that is not the case. But we shall see as the investigation goes on. And, you know, whatever happened, I hope that they really get to the bottom of it. And if he was murdered by someone, you know, I hope that that person is caught.
I think I heard from his dad that, I think it was on his podcast or a interview.
Yeah, it was his podcast.
That he just spoke to, you know, his son the morning of.
Yep.
And then, like, after they got the phone, it just happened a few hours later. I mean, how am I going to sit here and talk to my mom or my dad and then just go hang myself, you know?
Yeah, and I know he said, too, that, you know, he had went down to the jail and he had talked to the, I guess the guy that was over, the sheriff that was over the jail or something. And basically, Brian was just basically saying how he wanted to change and he wanted to go out and start, you know, telling younger people about how not to end up in the position that he ended up in and all of this, that, and the other. And he was hopeful. He was just ready to make a change and stuff. And I mean, that is not the sign of someone who, you know, would commit suicide. So that was just really looking suspicious. And also, the king was talking about how, you know, the sheriff or whatever the guy is that was over the jail was basically telling him that, you know, Brian would be safe there. And look what happened.
Yeah, I think it all started, you know, they were playing cards in the back, right? And kind of a fight broke out, and then they put him as in his son in solitary confinement, right? And then shit just popped off from there. But one of the comments that I saw, you know, and mind you, folks, I could be wrong. You know, everything is not finalized yet, so we're only reporting on what we've seen and read.
Yep.
So,
yep.
So our condolences again go out to, you know, Brian Lawler, his friends, his family, and you know, to celebrate, everybody go out and do the worm this weekend.
Exactly.
I actually really was down for that. At first, it was getting on my nerves, and you know, I just got into it. It was like WORM.
Somewhat like that damn spinneroonie. Yeah, man. Like, good grief.
You know, but before we move on, I saw somebody say online that, you know, hey, you know, he's had a lot of problems with the law, and I still can't believe this person said this, you know, just a fan like ourselves, that he deserved to get what he got. I'm like, how?
That was ignorant.
Exactly. I'm like, so, you know, I was like, so that person deserved to die? You know what I mean? That's what you're practically saying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. He fucked around so much with alcohol and the cops. Nobody deserves to die, bro.
No,
you know what I mean?
No. That was a totally ignorant statement. Totally ignorant.
Especially when they don't have all the details. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
But you know, keyboard warriors, man, they'll say whatever they want to say. So. But,
yep.
He will be missed, though. Some people may not like him because he was a mid-card act, And man, I guess he was a USWA champion, bro, 26 times. I came across that factoid when I was reading about the sheriff's report thing, whatever. I was like, damn, 26 times?
Yeah, you just taught me something new.
And so the women's revolution, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
You know, that's been recently announced, and it's coming up with October 28th. Is that the right date?
I think it's October 28th, yeah.
So, that's kind of interesting. One of the comments that, you know, Triple H made, he was stating, because a lot of people were saying, oh, they're just doing that because the women were not on the greatest Royal Rumble thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Triple H's response was, let's just forget about that pay-per-view if it that it ever happens. So would we still be doing this? You know? And I'm like, okay, are you towing the company line, or are you being for real? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit if it's for whatever reason. I'm just glad that they're doing it. And you watched TNA in the past, right? Because I don't think this might be the first time for WWE to have this, but I think this is not the first time that there's ever been a all-women's pay-per-view. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, it's all good because I didn't watch TNA, but I want to say TNA did it, right?
I believe TNA did do it, but I do know that there is an all-women's, actual all-women's organization. What is it? I think it's something called Shimmer.
Yeah, Shimmer.
Or something like that. Yeah, and I know that they, of course, have done it because, you know, that they have all women, duh. And, you know, but a lot of people are getting all bent out of shape because the WWE is saying this is the first time this has ever happened. But I'm sure that they are saying in WWE history, which would be correct. This is the first time this ever happened in WWE history. And I mean, and the thing about it, if you really want to look at it, this is the biggest women's pay-per-view, all women's pay-per-view ever done. So, I mean, you know, none that they have done so far would even compare to the WWE because of, you know, the exposure and this, that, and the other that the WWE have. And the WWE have more fans than any other wrestling organization. So, you know, but I am looking forward to it, man. I think it's going to be really awesome, and I'm excited for it, man. I really am.
Do you think they'll make it like an annual thing, like the Greatest Royal Rumble? I guess for the next 10 years is supposed to be happening. So I hope they do it every year. Do you think they'll do it every year?
I believe they'll do it every year. Yep. I think it's going to be received very well. And I think that they are gonna just get better and better each year. And I believe too, this is a rumor, but you know, a lot of people are expecting them to bring out the women's tag titles at this pay-per-view, which has not been announced yet, but a lot of people are talking about that, so we shall see.
Speaking of women, though, like we have been these past couple of minutes, have you been keeping up on the Mae Young Classic stuff?
No, I haven't. I don't think I've heard a little bit about it, but I just don't want to. I've been trying not to get into the spoilers about it because I actually want to sit down and watch it and stuff. So I know that I did hear something about who the finalists were or whatever, but I didn't want to. I saw the announcement about it, and I was like, I'm not even going to check it out because I don't even want to know yet. But I know that that's supposed to have something to do with that Evolution pay-per-view as well. So, you know.
I also heard that I think one of them got injured, but I didn't.
Yeah,
know.
yeah. The one who got injured, she was the one who had to step out. I forgot her name. She had to step out of it last year because of her other knee. And now it's the other knee this time. And now she actually was supposed to be the one to go to the end. She was supposed to be the one of the finalists. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
I'm looking forward to it, though. I don't know when they're going to air it. If it's anything like last year, sometime in September, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in September when they, or either the end of August. I forgot exactly when they are talking about doing it. But I like the way that they did it last year. You know, they basically just put them on the thing each week, and you know.
Yeah, so it's funny though. Going back to the women's revolution, how they have employees talking about it. Like I remember one promo, AJ, when he was talking about it. You know, I was just so happy, and I turned over to my daughter and hugged her and just told her.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah. A couple of them were saying stuff like that about, I told my daughter that, you know, one day, you know, you could be a part of history and this, that, and other. I'm like, well, you know, they had to milk that for everything it was worth. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they do, you know, because Trish Stratus and Lita are supposed to be involved, and it's going to be interesting to see what their roles might be.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, I think that Beth Phoenix is supposed to be a part of it too, I believe.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
And, you know, a lot of people were really, including myself, were really hoping, please, y'all need to get AJ Lee. But, oh well. And a lot of people really wanted, including myself, Gail Kim, but she's not interested, which I don't blame her. So, you know, with her sexy ass. But anyway, you know.
It's been like over a decade, though, man. I mean, what they're doing now is what she was pushing for, so.
Yep.
Why have sour grapes, bro? You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it also probably injuries too, because, you know, she has back problems apparently, I think. But, back to AJ Lee though. Speaking of AJ Lee, her husband is being sued by Colt Cabana, Scotty Goldman. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did, and I was really shocked about that.
Yeah, because
I was like, damn.
For those, you know, that didn't read about it, CM Punk told his homie that he would pay all the legal fees and stuff, but, you know, Mr. Phil Brooks took it upon himself not to follow through
honor
on
his commitment.
And I can't remember what the number was that was thrown around. Was it 100,000, something like that?
It's the legal fees is 200. I think they said 250,000, but he's trying to sue CM Punk for $1 million plus. For the 250,000 plus the $1 million, and a lot of people, including myself, are like, how in the hell are you going to do some shit like that when you didn't miss any of your dates that you were supposed to, you know, all of the dates and stuff that he was supposed to do? He didn't miss anything. So a lot of people are wondering, why is he trying to sue for an extra $1 million? And some people don't think it's even going to go to court. Some people think it's just they're just going to settle.
It sounds like they're just going to settle, in my opinion, though.
Yeah.
You know,
because I mean, neither one of who was it I heard talking about? I guess it was Meltzer. I don't remember who it was. I heard say that actually Colt Cabana can't really afford any more trials and stuff like that because he it's just going to eat up his bank account. CM Punk can afford to do stuff like that, but Colt Cabana can't.
Speaking of Meltzer, man, have you heard the stuff that's been going on the past few days?
Yeah.
With that comment that he made about one of the Iconics?
Yeah, and I think that people took that shit out of context. I was just listening to it the other day, and I was like, wait a minute. I understand what he was saying. Do I think he should have said it? No. But the thing about it is, I think that they really, really pushed that way out of the.
They blew it out of context, huh? Blew it out of proportion. Well, because the thing is, if he didn't say she was fat, bro.
Right. He did not say that.
No.
Only thing he said is that she was lighter.
Yeah, lighter.
In NXT, which, I mean, what the hell is wrong with that? People it's just ridiculous, man. He didn't,
bro.
Even Alvarez said that, no, we are not saying that she's not beautiful. We are definitely not saying that. She is a beautiful woman, which she is, both of them are, but damn, he was just saying that their gimmick was better in NXT, which is absolutely true. It's not getting over on the main roster like it was in NXT. It's just not. Let's just keep it real.
Oh yeah, I mean, last time I viewed SmackDown, I don't remember when, but when they were on there, man, the crowd was just boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. I was like, wow. And it's just, I don't know, man. The girl, I think that they are doing really good far as, their wrestling, but their promos, I think it's getting a little boring, like the crowd is saying. So I mean, I don't know, man. I think that whole thing just got blown way out of proportion, and it shouldn't have.
And let's see, yeah, man, this the Iconics, regardless whoever you ask, I don't think they lived up to the hype, but
nope.
Like Jim Ross says, there's an easy fix for that. It's called an eraser. You know what I mean? Just
yep.
Book them better, dang it.
Yep.
They might take them more seriously as the women's revolution, gets closer. But to end it up on a good note here, if you want to look at that, Hulk Hogan returned to the company. He has not been on TV or anything like that. I mean, your quick thoughts about the red and yellow back in the WWE, bro?
I like that they, brought him back or whatever. But one thing about it, I mean, it's just, I think that he, of course, is a huge Mount Rushmore part of wrestling, and no matter what, they wouldn't have been able to erase him if they wanted to. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I hope that they ain't trying to come back with some damn wrestling gimmick, because I don't even want to see that bullshit at all. I don't know if you heard about this, but did you hear that they were talking about something with the NWO returning?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And I'm sitting there like, what the hell? So,
I mean, the Smarks will know about it. You know what I mean? And they'll get a good pop from the smarks, but the average fan sitting in the audience,
Yeah.
you know, they're gonna be sounding like the New Day, asking their parents, you know, who's this, who's that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, man, you know, they got the money to throw around and waste, you know, for Hogan, Hall, and Nash. So, it'll be cool just to, you know, for nostalgia's sake. You know, but
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't go into no ridiculous storyline or whatever. But anyways, guys, that's all we got for, you know, our opinions on the news and the wrestling business. Don't forget, you can hit us up on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe, at Big Southern. All our podcasts, you can find them dang near everywhere. But they're archived on therwrestlingcafe.com, also YouTube, and you know, just continue showing us the support, and we will reciprocate. And when we come back, we will have our predictions for SummerSlam.
You're listening to the Rasslin Cafe podcast. Follow us on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe and like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the Rasslin Cafe. Check out our website at www.therwrestlincafe.com for blogs and much more about the world of professional wrestling. And now, back to the show.
Wow, folks, we're back. KillaK, Big Southern, the Wrestling Cafe, infecting the ear again. As we said from the jump, SummerSlam is this weekend, the second, or is it the third? We know it's one of the top four, but I can't remember if I think SummerSlam came out after
88.
the Rumble. Yeah, 88, but after the Rumble, basically, is the Rumble longer than SummerSlam? Which one's been around longer? Anyways, I don't remember right now, but the bottom line is it's damn near been around my entire life. So,
Yeah.
before we jump into the card, bro, I mean, is there any particular SummerSlam that sticks out to you? Any good ones? Not the entire card. I'm not saying like the entire card, bro, because I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't think there has been one card in any pay-per-view that I could sit there and say I enjoyed every match. But yeah, man, any SummerSlam that sticks out?
Well, I do remember matches from SummerSlam or whatever, but like I don't remember the exact SummerSlam it was, but like, you know, I remember like the SummerSlam that I think it was SummerSlam that Randy Orton actually won his first title, I believe. And I think goodness, was it Chris Benoit he won it from? I can't remember who that was, man. It's just I can't even tell you, man, because it's been just so many.
That was 2004 when Randy Orton defeated Chris Benoit for the championship to become the youngest champion. For me, I'm talking, you know, for me, when I think of SummerSlam, I think about the match made in heaven between, with the Macho Man and Elizabeth when the snake popped out, dude. I can't remember the name of how they tagged it, but it was like the Warrior and Hogan versus Slaughter, Mustafa, and the General. I think that was SummerSlam 91. And That was
Didn't,
famous. That was famous for Ultimate Warrior holding up Vince for money before he came out.
Yeah.
So. You were saying?
Now I was trying to think. I'm sure I'm probably wrong about this, but didn't The Undertaker defeat Hulk Hogan at a SummerSlam for the title?
No, that was Survivor Series, 91.
Okay. And I know let me see.
The Undertaker did fight The Undertaker, though, at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I remember that bullshit. Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah, the only way you could tell the difference was, the boots. Well, that's one of the reasons, but they had different colored boots on them. But, yeah, so, SummerSlam has had some great memories in the past, though. I mean, earlier we talked about Jim the Animal Neidhart with his passing. A lot of people rave about the tag team match they had, they as in the Hart Foundation, when they went against Demolition back in 1990. Texas Tornado versus Mr. Perfect. Oof.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I mean, SummerSlam, did us well.
I remember the very first SummerSlam too, which it was the main event was that Macho Man and Hulk Hogan going against Andre the Giant and the $1 Million Man, and that was that time when Elizabeth snatched off her dress and distracted the $1 Million Man and Andre to help Hogan and Macho get the win.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember renting that, bro, back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember renting VH tapes and shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And I'm just sitting there, and then whoosh, she just like ripped. I mean, I don't know if the crowd was dead or I don't know, man. But that really woke up the crowd though when she did that, man. That was a classic moment. I'm
kind of thinking that she had on some blue drawers, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember, man. I'm gonna have to YouTube that. But hold on, real quick though. Speaking of women, Elizabeth, and women, but going back to what we were talking about with the that shit with Dave Meltzer and the Iconics. I don't know if you caught that, and then we'll go back to SummerSlam. But my favorite, because a lot of people were replying about that situation, right? And one of the favorite replies was from Seth Rollins. He goes, "I give this news story," or no, he said something like, "I give Dave Meltzer a -6 stars."
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, Dave likes to rate everything 5, 4, 3 stars, whatever. So
yeah.
But at any rate, back to SummerSlam. At one point, I used to think that SummerSlam always had at least one personal feud to go in, for the pay-per-view. Like, for example, what I mean by that is, for example, when they utilized Edge and Matt Hardy, outside life, and they brought it into the ring at SummerSlam, and then Mick Foley and Ric Flair, they were using their real life heat.
Yep.
And so I don't know, they've kind of like went away from that over the years, in my opinion. But that seems to be the feuds that work the best. You know what I mean? That actually have an actual feud behind it. So, make it real personal.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't you think that's what's missing these days? Like, in matches when it comes to pay-per-views or whatever, because I remember hearing somebody like when these matches are happening, like, why are they fighting? You know what I mean? Why are these guys like the Bludgeon Brothers and the New Day? Okay, they're only fighting because of a tournament. Okay, Roman and then Brock. Okay, third time's the charm. Okay, it's been, you know, is there any personal? Probably the only match on the card, this year, that has a quote unquote personal touch to it is The Miz and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Yep.
I guess you could say Brock and Brock and Roman, but I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I think you were right about just it. I think it's just The Miz and Daniel Bryan. I think that would be the only one with the personal thing behind it. But all the other matches are just shit that's been put together.
Speaking of Daniel Bryan, last night I was listening to a podcast with him, and it just came out this week. And
was Sam Roberts?
Yeah, and Daniel declined to answer if he's re-signed. You know, he said 90% chance that he might re-sign. Have you heard anything more about that? Like,
well, I know that podcast was recorded
last week.
They said like on the 6th of August or something. So we don't know. We don't know if things have changed since then. So
I hope he resigns.
I'm sure he will.
Because part of me is still trying to get used to seeing him in the ring, though, to tell the truth, even though it's been a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying it, though. You know, like the matches that he's had with the Bludgeon Brothers and the Kane thing. We knew that it wasn't going to be a long deal. Because,
right.
You know, of the mayor thing. So, but with SummerSlam though, as far as excitement's concerned, I'm probably, I don't know, with everything that's been going on around here at the Palace, bro, I'm looking forward to devouring my chicken wings and drinking beer and watching the pay-per-view. And I will tell you right now, probably, I know you're going to clown me for saying this, man, but I'm actually looking forward to the Roman Reigns-Brock Lesnar match.
I ain't mad at you, man. Good.
Because there's always been some screwy-ass finishes, you know what I mean? And maybe I'm looking forward to it is because I'm thinking that he might split his wig, as in Brock Lesnar, and leave. And I've always wanted to see them just straight up one-on-one. I mean, another match I wanted to see straight up one-on-one with Brock is Seth Rollins, because I remember a couple years ago when they had a match that was off the chain, man, until Undertaker showed up, you know?
Yeah.
But
wasn't that was at a SummerSlam too, right?
No, that was the pay-per-view right before SummerSlam. That set up Brock and Undertaker when Undertaker did some submission move on Brock, and then
it was that. But I'm talking about the match. I should have been clear. I'm talking about the match between Undertaker and Brock. That was that second. That
was at SummerSlam, and then they had a final one.
Okay.
At Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, because I know Undertaker put Brock Lesnar in that Snake Eyes.
Yeah, and Brock, well, the one at SummerSlam, I think that's the one you're talking about. That's where he passed out, and before he passed out, he flipped off the Undertaker.
Yep.
So, but so let's see here. As far as predictions are concerned, like I said, excitement, I'm probably looking at a 8. I would say 8, 7, because I just haven't been really observing wrestling a lot due to stuff outside of this that's been going on. My attention has not been fully on Raw and SmackDown. I can't even begin to tell you the last one I legit sat down and just watched it, One of the things that I was really disappointed about, in the sense of, from the aspect of like So why did you waste my time during all these damn months? And I'm talking about the Sasha and Bailey thing, bro.
Yeah.
So all it took was 3 words to get them back on the page. Same page, you know. I love you. You know that Sasha said to Bailey?
Yeah. I think I understand where you are coming from with that, but what I think the reason is behind them changing that up is, you know, they are trying to go ahead and get this 4 horsemen versus 4 horsemen, 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen thing going. And from what I'm hearing, they trying to aim at Survivor Series this year. So we'll see. So I think that might be the reason behind them, you know, hitting the brakes on that. Plus, you know, also I've heard rumors, like I've mentioned earlier, about the women's tag team championships or whatever. And from what I heard too, they said that they think that Sasha Banks kind of let the cat out of the bag about that, because she put some post, I think, on her Instagram talking about it. And so I don't know, man. Maybe that's the reason behind it, but I do understand exactly what you mean. They could have just had them to go ahead and have a few, as long as they was dragging that shit along, them girls could have had a few matches, beating the shit out of each other. Then they could have been like, you know what? The hell with this. I love you. Let's just leave this shit alone. Let's dominate this. You know, something. They could have did. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
Well,
damn, it's raining.
Looking at the logistics here, though, when you mention the 4 horsewomen and blah 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 blah. So does that mean that we already know that there's going to be no beef between Charlotte and Becky, you know, during the match? Apparently,
that's and I think that the way that they are handling that right now too. Now it could be after all of that is said and done, because we already know pretty much Ronda Rousey and her team probably is going to win. And that's probably going to be the thing that really, I don't know. I guess that might be the thing that set them off. But everybody is really looking forward to seeing Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey in a singles match. So, and they are thinking about having that as the main event of WrestleMania. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Man, guys, you guys hear that rain in the background, guys?
Yeah.
Man, you guys need to pass some of that over here, man. It's like 100 degrees over here, man. Yeah, we're begging for some water here in the desert, man. But so we got Southern got the card there. What's the first match, bro?
All right, so we are going to start with the pre-show and the first match, and it's not in any particular order, people. We don't know if this is how it's going to be, but okay. So the B Team versus the Revival is the very first match on this card here.
First of all, I'm happy for the B Team, for them to be able to give, you know, to shine, you know, for Axel and Dallas, you know, because they're two good talents, and for them to pull off such a nerdy ass comical type deal, man. I mean, in my opinion, they're kind of funny, you know.
Yeah.
And the Revival, you know, earlier we were talking about the tag teams, you know, back in the late 80s when it was on and popping, man. I feel bad for the Revival because, you know, look, they were fucking around with Bobby and Roman, and just the way they built them to get to this tag team title shot. You know what I mean? It's not like back in the day where you had so many teams, you know, and then this team's climbing up the ladder. Oh, they just beat one team. Now they're gonna beat another. They're gonna beat another. I mean, who in the hell did Revival beat to earn this title shot? You know what I mean? But booking aside, I think it's time for the B team to put over another team, and I think the Revival are gonna have. I think they're gonna win it.
I'm with you on that. I thought you were finna say the B team. I was finna say, well, I guess we're disagreeing on this one, but I'm with you on that. I think that Revival is gonna pull it off this time. I hope so anyway.
You know, the B team, they've had it for a long minute now, so.
Yeah.
And it might be leading to Revival against the Authors of Pain, man. That might be a good ass match.
Woo! Yeah.
Wait. The Revival, they're heels, right?
The Revival and the Authors of Pain pretty much are heels. So, but man, when has that ever stopped them here lately? You know, it's just, you know, it's not like it used to be.
No, I mean, like you were just saying, like when did it stop them before? Because you know the B team were originally heels.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm saying the B team will, you know, step down, and it's time for the Revival. But
when the B team actually first won it, I was thinking that they were pretty much a transitional champion anyway.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that they dragged it out this long.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so what we got going on next?
So our next pre-show, and I think our final pre-show match, because I haven't heard anything else as far as the pre-show goes, is Rusev and Lana versus Zelina Vega and Cien Almas. So I'm actually thinking that Vega and Cien Almas is going to pull it off again. And it's probably going to have to do with that dude, I done forgot his name. Oh, goodness, that Rusev Day dude.
Aiden English.
Yeah, Aiden English. I think he's going to come out and he's probably going to screw up the match again. And I'm surprised that Rusev hadn't slapped the shit out of him yet.
Yeah, remember that slow burn, bro. You know this.
Yeah, that damn slow burn. Yeah.
There's rumors that, you know, English might cost Rusev the match, and that's when Rusev is gonna just straight, you know, go wallywop on English, but they have to. Mm-hmm. They're trying to make it to where Rusev goes face, which he already is, but officially go face by going off on English. So I think English is gonna go heel by turning on those two. I mean, the story being told is a good, you know, it makes sense, but to go from, you know, main eventing Extreme Rules to this, okay, you know. If I was Rusev, man, I'd be like, look, they got a big ass event coming up in September in Chicago. I'll be over there, you know. The All In pay-per-view show.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I'm not really too interested in that match. I hate to say, but
me either. I'm not either now.
But I am into looking at the women that'll be in the ring. But that's about
exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking, my boy. Yes. So apparently we do have a third match that's supposed to be on the pre-show, which I can see this definitely being on the pre-show, and that's that Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. which I don't. I hate to say this. I know some people are probably in love with the cruiserweight division, but I'm just not. And to tell you the truth, I can actually care less about that match. But I honestly think that your boy Cedric Alexander is probably going to keep the title.
Well, again, just like yourself, man. I mean, for me, I'll pass because I have not watched 205. I don't think I've ever watched one episode, dude. You know, there's just too much. WWE has saturated the product like a mother canuck, man.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with everything, man. I mean, after 3 hours of Raw, dude, I'm in a coma already. You know, I'm like, okay. So, in a way, I'm kind of glad that, like, 205 is on demand, and then there's DVRs. You know, because there's other wrestling out there to watch, too. So, I don't have a prediction because I don't watch 205. So,
alrighty. Well, on to the main card here. The very first match they have listed is Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin, and I'm not calling that bitch no Constable Baron Corbin. Hell no. It's Baron Corbin, and I'm sick of that shit. I'm just gonna, I mean, it's not been going on that long, but I'm already sick of it. It's just
long enough.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm tired of it, and I'm gonna have to honestly go with my boy Finn Balor on this one. I don't know. I don't care. I don't really care for Corbin all that much, how they are doing this character, because his character is more like a bitch now. So,
but he's improving on the mic to a certain degree. You know, like I mentioned a couple of podcasts ago, I think they put him in this position to help him with his personality.
Do you think it's helping?
I mean, he's made some improvement. I mean, not a lot, but, you know, baby steps are better than no steps, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But think about this, bro. 2 years ago, Finn Balor, the first Universal Champion, and now he's
a joke, pretty much. And I hate that. I really, really hate that, man. I really hate that.
Yeah, me too, dude. It's really disappointing, man. But if it's the opener, you know, I would have to say Finn Balor. You have to start the show off on a good note. So
yeah. Yep, I'm definitely going with Finn myself. So the second match they have listed here is Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Charlotte. And I think that this is going to be a good match just because of Charlotte and Becky. And I think that they probably added Charlotte to this match just so her and Charlotte can pretty much do all the work, you know, because that's probably what is going to happen anyway. But honestly, I think that Carmella is going to retain. So that's what I wish that Becky would get it, but I just see Carmella retaining because she's going to use Charlotte and Becky going at one another to her advantage. That's what I believe is going to happen with that.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Basically, you know, it's going to follow the formula for any triple threat that has friends in it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have your little one-on-one. Someone's going to get chucked out, and then eventually, and then the other one's going to come back in, and the other one gets chucked out. You know, they're going to fight, and then the middle of the match, towards the end, they're going to be wrestling, and then they're going to have beef, miscommunication, and then Carmella has been booked as an opportunist type champion.
Exactly. Yep.
She's gonna come through and just probably pin Becky Lynch.
Yeah, and a lot of people getting all bent out of shape. And I'm sitting there like, man, the girl doing her job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
she's what the hell do you think a heel is? A heel is a coward. They do anything and everything to keep from losing. If they are a champion, they do everything in their power to keep a hold of their championship. She's doing that.
I mean,
so what are you getting upset about?
Yeah, Triple H did that with Evolution. I mean, and then you fast forward to a decade later. Seth Rollins did that with whatever the Authority when he had Kane doing dirty shit, and him whatever so and so I think Becky's gonna be the one taking the pin.
I honestly think so too. Yeah, and then that's when Carmella is gonna come out talking shit. I beat Becky and Charlotte. Two women at the same time. That's exactly. I'm telling you, man. I can just predict what the bitch gonna say. I'm telling you, and I think that's a good thing for them to keep doing with her. Let her come out there and be cocky and talk shit. And then eventually somebody's gonna take the championship off of her. So I honestly thought that she was gonna be a transitional champion too, but apparently not.
Where's Asuka in all this, though? What happened to her? Have you heard
I don't know. I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. I said, we haven't seen Asuka in a little while now. I'm wondering what's going on with that. And there were rumors that Asuka had left the company, but that's bullshit because Asuka has been wrestling, just not on camera.
And then what's her name has also been conspicuous of her absence. The Rock's cousin, Nia Jax.
Yeah, I heard that she was injured.
So what we got going on for the next match? Maybe they'll show up on Revolution or Evolution.
Yeah, so I doubt that two women's matches are going to go back to back, but the next match that they have up here is Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey. So I'm kind of like, I don't know on this one because, they may give us the screw and think, we sitting here thinking, oh, Ronda is going to get it, but I honestly doubt that Alexa Bliss pins or submits Ronda, but you never know. She could do something to get herself disqualified, which if she gets disqualified, the championship does not change hands. So that may be what happens. And then some people think that, or I don't know if she's going to be back for SummerSlam or not, but some people think that even Natalya may be the reason for Ronda not winning it, because Natalya might just flip out on her and be like, I'm sick and tired of, basically being in your shadow and this, that, and the other, because I'm sure that's going to end up happening. Her and Natalya's going to feud.
I've heard that since this women's pay-per-view is coming out, they're thinking about stretching it out to that pay-per-view and having Rousey win the championship there for a memorable moment for a first-time pay-per-view type deal.
Yeah.
And, it would make sense, honestly, for her not to win the championship because she's been whooping, Bliss's ass lately, and just...
Yeah.
Because, the WWE, they're very formulaic, as in, okay, if you beat up somebody on TV before the pay-per-view, that means you're going to lose, but it's just going to be interesting to see, how they protect Rousey, but you know, when it comes to disqualifications on the pay-per-view, I don't like that, dude. You know, because pay-per-views are meant to settle a score. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not drag it out. You know, so I'm gonna go on a limb here and say Balissa's gonna retain the championship, but how? We'll find out.
Yeah, ugh. Oh my god. Ooh wee. I'm kinda on the same I think I'll go with that too, because I mean, as much as I would love to see Ronda get it, I think that Bliss is going to probably end up retaining. And I'm wondering if, since you know, we already know that Carmella is going to retain pretty much, I'm wondering if they are going to do that with both women's titles. I'm wondering, because I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go with Bliss myself. So
man, but what was a real joke though? In my opinion, I get why they did it, you know, for the presentation, but the way they built up Fox, dude, that night that she wrestled Rousey, bro. You know, video packages, and they were building her up like she was like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Shit, yeah.
And okay, I'm like, I get why you did it, but it was not necessary. So what we got going on next?
So the next match is Miz versus Daniel Bryan.
You know,
this match has been freaking in the making for a while now.
You gotta say, I mean, at least 8 years, bro. You know, if you go back to 2010, and I guess, you know, before I talk about it, at least they got a showcase mode on 2K19 WWE wrestling game that's coming out with AJ Styles on the cover. There's a showcase mode where you can wrestle, you know, as Daniel Bryan, storyline mode or whatever, from the beginning. I mean,
yep.
Bryan Danielson versus John Cena, and then all the way up to now. You know, so I mean, if you're a gamer, that'll be interesting. But to tell you guys, the last game I played was WWF Attitude. So, have fun with it.
Damn. Hell yeah, boy. I love that damn game, boy. Woo, boy. WWE Attitude.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, and then I remember repurchasing it because I found it used somewhere, and then, you know, my dumbass dogs, you know, mucked it up. So I'm like, oh, forget it.
That was an awesome freaking game there, man. Damn. And I think that was like the last one on PlayStation before they started the SmackDown games.
Oh yeah, it was.
Damn, boy, woo! I loved it.
So, you know, I guess it all depends on, at least in my opinion. Okay, so wrestling should be the good guy always prevails. You know, like Hulk Hogan over Slaughter, and you know, blah 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 blah. But I would be surprised if The Miz lost, but if The Miz wins, to me, that's gonna tell me that he re-signed, so they're gonna drag it out a couple more matches. But I would hope that Daniel Bryan wins, so the good guy can prevail.
I'd love for Daniel Bryan to prevail, but I honestly think that The Miz is gonna probably get this. I honestly think he's probably going to get this, you know, and then, you know, I'm sure that Daniel Bryan has or is going to re-sign with the WWE, so he's going to get, you know, his rematch or whatever, if you want to call it that. So he's going to end up getting a win over The Miz, and I think that the Daniel Bryan is going to end up winning the war.
Yeah.
Miz might win that battle, but I believe that Daniel Bryan is going to win the war.
There's a next pay-per-view after that. I can't remember if it's Raw or SmackDown, but it's going to be Hell in the Cell. So,
well, it's actually going to be both of them because they don't do the.
Yeah. I forgot. I totally forgot that they joined together. So, if I'm just gonna say the Miz. I think I said Daniel Bryan a moment ago, but because again, with the whole contract thing up in the air, at least that what we know or don't know, but it would make sense for the Miz to win, and then Daniel gets him back at the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, trade off wins and things, but I think a lot of people are saying that might be the match of the night due to the history between the two.
Yeah.
Did you think that it should have been saved for WrestleMania? That match.
Do I think it should have been saved for what?
WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan and The Miz.
Well, no, because I think that would have kind of been dragging a little too long. I think if anything, I think that they I'm sure that feud is going to continue or whatever, and I think that maybe the final match or something should be at WrestleMania. But because after WrestleMania, that's when they start doing the shake up. So I think that maybe that should be like the if they continue it, I think that it should be the final spot they do it, and just let it be. So
and then again, back to
I think it would be WrestleMania worthy, but
that's just dragging it out way too damn long. You know what I mean? I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do in the meantime? You know what I mean? It's a hard call. I'll say the Miz, but that means you're gonna have Daniel Bryan lose 2 straight pay-per-views. I mean, not that he cares, but
yeah, but I don't want to see it now. I'd be kind of angry about that. I don't want to see Daniel Bryan lose freaking twice in a row. That would just be too much. Especially with the Miz, of all people. Shit.
So yeah, I'll just call it the Miz final answer for me. But it's gonna be a good match. I'm gonna be looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny watching both of them do the same moves though, like the yes kick.
Yeah. So our next match is the Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day, and I'll go ahead and say right now the Bludgeon Brothers are going to retain. I don't want to see the New Day with the titles right now.
I'm thinking they might, because they've had it since WrestleMania. And I think the New Day are going to take it. I think what they're trying to do is... Wait. I don't want to confuse them. Okay, these guys are on SmackDown, right? Yeah.
Yep,
so
they're on SmackDown.
I think what they're going to do is switch it over to New Day, and then eventually it's going to end up on Sanity. So, because you can't have Sanity go against the Bludgeon Brothers. So... Eventually, the titles will end up on Sanity. So I'm saying the New Day are going to take it, and then Sanity's going to take it later on this year. That sounds real good on paper, but
because you might be right about that too, because I don't see them putting the Bludgeon Brothers against Sanity right now. So yeah, you might be right about that.
Then again, I've been wrong quite a damn bit this year, man.
Well, me too, but shit,
You know, it's like, you know, Vince has been swerving me, man, fucker. So, what we got going on then? So, we got the New Day. I say the New Day taking it. You said New Day.
Yep. Oh no! I said the Bludgeon.
Oh, Bludgeon Brothers. So I'm picking
but I think that what you are saying make more sense because Sanity, unless they are not going to put the titles on Sanity anytime soon, then you know I definitely see the Bludgeon Brothers retaining. Now, if they are going to. Because I do see the New Day next time getting the titles. If I see them pretty much being transitional champions, you know, because I think that they are going to eventually break that shit up. So, and I think it is time for them to do that.
Yeah, man, Big E needs to get out there, man, and go get the
Honestly, he does, yeah.
He's only had the IC championship and the tag team championship, so.
Yeah.
He's funny. He got good promo skills, and
all of them really good on the mic, but and in the ring. But with Big E being a big dude, man, and you know, I just think that he could do a lot more.
I agree, but you know, everyone's been saying for years, including myself. Maybe this would be the year. Maybe this would be the year. You know, 5 years, man. 5 years. So. Yep. It'd just be interesting to see how they execute it. Who's gonna turn on who? I mean, they're not ice. I don't think they're all gonna go, hey guys, it's been a long time. So how about we just go our own ways? You know, somebody has to turn on somebody.
Well, I mean, even if they were to do it that way, I wouldn't be upset. I think it'd be cool. Yo, man, we're going to go our own way, man. I always have your back, or whatever the case may be. But I think it's time for me to move on or whatever, you know. And I mean, I think that would be cool. But I mean, to make it more interesting, you know, they always going to have a backstabber. So. And it may just be Big E. It may be Big E who turn on both Kofi and Woods. He might freaking dog their ass out and be like, I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers, you know. I got to go get the title. I'm sick of being with y'all. Y'all just holding me back.
Yeah, like I'm sick of the bootios, the pancakes, and blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see him as a heel though. I mean, especially with if AJ retains, I'm gonna give you my thoughts here about that later on. But if I don't remember all the faces, it all depends on how many faces they got on SmackDown. Because face-wise, they only got what? Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and then you got your mid-card faces. But you know, there's might be plenty of feuds for Jeff Hardy, depending on how long he sticks around.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of Jeff Hardy, so we got Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke, right?
Yep.
See, that's the match that confused me though, because I'm like, okay, Randy came, unless they're really drawing this shit out. Okay, so Randy came back, he blasted on Hardy. So I was thinking maybe it was going to be Jeff versus Randy at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up doing Shinsuke and Jeff. And by default, I'm thinking Shinsuke is going to win because he just won the championship.
Oh, yeah, man. Shinsuke is going to retain. Shinsuke is definitely going to retain.
And, you know, Randy and... That'll transition over to Randy and... Jeff, but it'll be interesting to see where Shinsuke goes from here.
Yeah. So, alright. Let's see. And another match that we have is Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre in his corner. Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose in his corner. for the Intercontinental Championship. And I just don't know about this match, man. I'm thinking Seth Rollins may get it, but I honestly think that, in my opinion, I don't know. Either way, it was a good. This is what I think. I think that them bringing Dean Ambrose back on Raw, I honestly think that was a mistake. I think they should have waited until SummerSlam to have him to come back. But at the same time, it could have been a blessing for him because, you know, by them showing that Dean Ambrose was back, that could have, and he has a different look, that probably sold more tickets if they hadn't sold it out at the time. So maybe, maybe they did do the right thing. I don't know.
So, to entice the viewers to tune into SummerSlam, I get it, you know. Oh, hey guys,
Right.
you know, Dean Ambrose is back. You know, if you would have really asked me, I'm gonna tune into it anyways, man. It's $9.99. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if the Brooklyn Brawler came back, or the Rock came back, you know, or the Red Rooster came back. I'll still be tuning in. But I get what you're saying. I agree. But originally, I honestly thought he was just gonna make a surprise appearance and save Seth, or try to save him at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But you know, they needed that rating, so I haven't checked the ratings, but I know that SmackDown this week 2.1 million. I haven't seen the Raw one. I mean, I know it came out, I just haven't seen it. But the ratings though for the past several weeks have been under 3 mil. So in SmackDown, I'm really surprised about SmackDown though. You know, barely over 2 million. Not barely, but you know, just over 2 million.
Yeah.
They're reaching TNA territory when it comes to ratings. But
damn.
Yeah, TNA, man, they would do like 1.6s, you know, 1 million viewers, 1.8.
Yeah.
But the ratings may tell one story, but you know, for SmackDown. But when you look at the in-ring presentation, it, you know, far succeeds Raw in my opinion. But anyways, I'm digressing here. What's the next match?
So, did you say who you think is gonna get it?
You know, honestly, bro, that's a tough call, man, because it's like, so does Seth move on to the championship now? Or is he gonna waste more time with the IC? I mean, is that gonna be the start of the split between Ziggler and McIntyre?
A lot of people think that Dean is going to turn on Seth.
I was about to say that too. Is Dean going to turn on Seth? Because every time you come back with a beard, you know, you're going heel. So,
yeah.
You know, his arms have gotten bigger, though. It looks like he's been working out, you know.
Yeah, got a haircut and all.
And that's what a lot of people were saying, though, back to the arms thing, though, that he doesn't even look like he could hurt someone, but he put on some muscle. And if he does
look like a savage.
If he does go heel, it's long overdue, but he is so damn popular. I mean, did you hear the pop, bro?
Yes, I did. Yep.
I mean, that gave me chills on. His wife was on the commentary too. Real quick though, man, how do you think she did on the commentary?
I think she did great. And, you know, I think, and you already know they are getting her geared up to do that Evolution pay-per-view. And she also was on Busted Open Radio with Mark Henry. I forgot the other guy's name. And she was saying that she really wanted to start doing that a lot more. So we'll see.
Yeah,
but I think she did a great job for what it was worth.
I find it kind of interesting how when her husband came back, when he came out, she was quiet. You know.
Yeah.
I guess to keep it unbiased, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess they probably told her, "Hey, don't say anything," because you already know her coochie probably was getting wet and everything. Oh, look at my man, and all of that. So you know, they didn't want her to start squirting all over everything. Anyway, let me stop. Oh man.
Anyway, so they showed a backstage video of her being interviewed, and the interviewer asked, "Did Vince was in her ear?" And she said, "Only one time," and that's told her to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found it interesting that they would actually mention that, because that's behind the scenes shit. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah.
Nobody's supposed to know that someone's talking in their ear, but blah, 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 blah. But what is still funny, though, is, man, they're not allowed to use the bathroom, bro, during the broadcast.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Because she was sitting there saying that she was drinking a Monster, but she had to pace herself. Okay, drink a little bit, but don't drink too much, because you're going to have to pee,
Yeah.
And, but that's why I couldn't broadcast for WWE. I'm like, fuck it, man, I'll just pee right here. I gotta go. And
yeah, that's why they need to carry those pocket catheters or something.
Well, Jim Ross always said that just that's why I wear black pants.
Yeah.
Because he make no bones about it, man. He's done taking a shit or pissed on air, bro.
I don't blame him. Shit, that man, look how old he is. He don't give a damn what you think about him. Shit. And say, yeah, you got the shit, Yeah.
But, yeah, so, it's a tough one, but, I think it's time for, it's a hard one for me to call, bro. I'm sorry, man, but.
It's all good.
I would have to say Seth is gonna win, and then eventually Dean is gonna turn. Because I keep forgetting about this whole slow burn model that they got going on. Because for Dean Ambrose to come out and just turn on him, that's going to be too soon. So let Seth win. And then they're going to, have their little reunion. Not Shield reunion, but like...
Right.
BFF reunion, and then...
Yeah.
And then slowly, Dean is going to go off on him.
And you already know eventually, too, that Drew McIntyre is going to turn on Dolph. And this might be the time it might happen, because Dolph might be like, I thought you had my back. I thought you had, and different stuff like that. And then Drew is going to probably dog his ass out. And, I heard that Dolph don't have a long contract with them right now, so that Drew might be his write-off.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like akin to the throwback Miz and Alex Riley thing, where Alex was the protege and quote unquote this guy McIntyre is the protege, and they might take that same route, but like you said, I think Ziggles is gonna blame McIntyre, but and McIntyre is just gonna straight punk him. You guys need to go out there. The listeners need to go out there and YouTube that when Alex Riley stuck up for himself and bombed on the Miz, man. That was a
that was awesome.
That was a big no pun intended, by the way. That was a big pop that Alex received, but look what happened to the rest. The Miz was the Shawn Michaels of the duo apparently, and they viewed Alex Riley as a Marty Jannetty, but
that was really stupid because honestly, not Marty Jannetty, damn, Alex Riley was a hell of a lot better wrestler than the Miz.
It's all about the mainstream, though, man, because, you know, The Miz had that tie-in with MTV and all that shit, dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, seems like WWE cares more about Hollywood than keeping it hood, you know, and just rapping.
Yep.
But, so yeah, I'll just say Seth is retaining, because it's way too damn soon for Dean to do anything heelish. So what we got next?
Alright, so our next match is going to be Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens, and it is for the Money in the Bank contract.
So,
and if Braun Strowman is disqualified or he does anything, you know, anything, whatever, basically all the cards are in Kevin Owens' favor. So I honestly still see Braun Strowman retaining, though. He's gonna keep his contract. I don't see Kevin Owens getting it. Now, if Kevin Owens does get it, man, I will be shocked.
So this whole thing, I was thinking in my head when I was sitting there just watching their little storyline. I'm like, please don't make it to where they do the stupid put your contract on the line match. And that's what they did. I'm like, oh.
Me and you was on the same level because I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
It was so obvious. It was so obvious, bro.
So obvious. You right. You are right. Obvious. I just saw that shit coming. Yep.
So a lot of people were thinking on one side Owens will win, then he'll cash in on Roman.
Yeah.
Another side thinks the way it should go. Strowman wins and then cashes in on Roman. Either way, Roman's gonna get cashed on. So, but if Owens cashes on Roman and Owens is a heel, he's gonna get the huge pop. And with the pay-per-view, typically they want a babyface standing at the end. So, I'm just going to say, keep it simple and short. Strowman is going to win. They're going to tease it that he's going to lose, you know, during the match. He might get disqualified. He might get counted out. They're going to tease all that. But at the end of the day, Strowman's going to win. And then later on, he's going to cash in. I'll be really surprised, though, you know, if he cashes in on Brock. But I have a feeling that he's going to cash in on Roman.
Well, I'll get to that. I'll tell you what I think about that in a minute.
Alright, so we got what now?
So our next match is going to be AJ versus Joe, Samoa Joe.
And guys, it's not that I'm not disinterested. I just don't remember the match order. So if you guys are sitting there telling me that, man, does this guy keep up on the product?
Well, you know, we got to kind of get our notes together, people. So that's what we are doing. So there you go. But yeah, man. Although Joe and AJ, they have clashed many times in other organizations, this will absolutely be the biggest. This will be the biggest stage that they have ever, you know, participated on, that being the WWE. So, you know, man, this is going to be a freaking phenomenal match, man. This match, I think is, you know, all the hype that they had with Shinsuke and AJ, which it should have been if they would have really let AJ and Shinsuke do their thing. That match would have been really great. However, this match right here with Joe and AJ, I think is going to be really good. And oh boy, I just don't know, man. This is a hard one to pick too. Oh, I love both of these dudes. I just think it's time for Joe. I think it's time for Joe to get it. And I think that Joe is going to play. You see the mind games that Joe was playing, and he's talking all of this crap about how AJ loves the business better than he loved his he loved that championship more than he loved his family, and he basically playing those mind games with AJ. And I think that AJ is probably going to lose it. He's probably going to get really, really angry because he didn't put his hands on Joe the last couple weeks or whatever. But I think that just like with that letter that Joe supposedly got from AJ's wife, saying that that Joe was right about all of the stuff that he said about AJ, talking about AJ loved the business more than he loved his kids and his wife and this, that, and the other. And I think that's really, AJ is going to have that on his mind instead of staying focused on trying to keep his title. He's going to want to break his foot off in Joe's ass, and Joe is going to use that to his advantage, and I believe that Joe is going to take the title off of AJ. That's what I think is going to happen. Might be wrong, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. But hear me out.
Okay.
So, right now, after this weekend, we're going to transition over to Jeff Hardy and Randy, right? So, after Randy finishes with Jeff, I think his next target's going to be AJ, because what has been Randy's spiel lately? You know what I'm saying? Which is, I'm going to get rid of all your favorites and blah, 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 blah. I think later on, it's going to, here in a few months, it's going to end up being Styles and Orton for the championship. Now, it's been a long-ass time since Randy had to run with the title, and that's a bit of a stretch, but I'm just going based off character, not on, him winning the championship or he deserves or whatever. But I think, because what a way to take his character over the top as a Randy by taking out the champion, who is supposed to be everyone's favorite. So I'm thinking AJ's going to retain. It might be and I hate to say it, double count out or something, or disqualification due to that emotional aspect that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But, and then they might drag it out. But the one thing that, the main reason why I think he's going to retain is what you said, I think the last podcast or the one before. It's because he's on the cover of the 2K19. You know what I mean?
True.
So why would they take the title off of him? I think they're going to keep it at least until after the game is out, and then Randy's going to come in and then, use that as a catalyst. This is one of your favorites. He's going to start smashing the game or whatever, and then Randy's going to take it later this year. So, in the long-ass winded way, AJ's going to retain.
All right, I can see your point. And I think so the last match, of course, is Brock Lesnar taking on Roman Reigns. And you might be surprised at what I'm about to say, but hey, I think that Brock is going to retain. That's what I think is going to happen.
I could see that because he has one more appearance on his deal, which is Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And, who knows? He might beat Roman, and then he might, come out the next night, and that's when Strowman cashes in. So
that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Because this is my thing. Why would Brock Lesnar come the night after Raw? After SummerSlam.
Exactly. I see
if he loses, why would he come there?
Yeah, exactly. I'm on that same token, and
so
the thing is, when was the last time somebody actually cashed in on the pay-per-view? That was Seth Rollins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's one of those things that's too damn obvious. Because a lot of people, okay, it's kind of like the Ronda thing. A lot of people think Ronda's going to win the match. So they're going to swerve, right? Kind of like back in Mania earlier this year. You and I were both surprised that Asuka lost.
Mm-hmm. And Shinsuke. We automatically, at least I did. Okay, she's undefeated, so she's gonna beat Charlotte, you know. But no, she lost. Mm-hmm.
So I think Vince or whoever is like, hey, let's swerve him a little bit. So everyone wants and thinks that Strowman's gonna retain, or no, cash in. But like you said, why would he show up on Monday?
Yep.
But
especially if he loses, because what's the point of him showing up after he loses?
Yeah,
unless he shows up and he dogs Roman Reigns out or whatever, and then Strowman don't need any help. Strowman could cash in your face without even touching you and beat your ass. But I'm saying, why? I just don't see. Okay, after Braun Strowman, after Brock and Roman Reigns have, because you already know they're probably gonna throw the damn kitchen sink at one another, and they are gonna both be tired and beat up or whatever the case may be, and Braun Strowman pretty much ain't gonna have that much of a big deal on his hands with Kevin Owens. Come on, man. He might have a little bit of a challenge, but he's gonna beat Kevin Owens or whatever. And okay, Brock shows up, and Brock, he's there talking shit or whatever. What's his name out there? Paul Heyman out there talking shit. And then the next thing you know, here comes Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman can get a match anytime he wants. Cannot deny him his match. When he's ready to cash in, he gets it. So Brock is going to have to face him. So I'm thinking that they're going to say, ring the bell. And Braun Strowman is going to dog his ass out, and it's going to be a straight up one-sided match, and Braun is going to take it.
I just hope they do something different, though. Like, the cash-ins. But as you were talking, I was thinking of, when we were asking each other, like, why would he show up? Okay, so he might show up just to beat the holy hell out of Roman. And then here comes Strowman to cash in.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like say if Roman do beat him or whatever, and Brock shows up and pissed off, and he just dog Roman Reigns out, and then the next thing you know, here comes Strowman saying, "All right, well I'll come on in there and get that title then."
Yeah, but then again, that also discredits Strowman to a degree because he.
Yeah, but you just got to. You got to look at it, man. That contract is an opportunist type of deal. So which Braun Strowman, I understand what you're saying, because Braun Strowman does not need to do all of that. He could freaking handle his own without doing all of that dirty shit to get the title.
Come on, man. If he could win a whole tag team battle royal by himself,
right?
He could take on two guys.
That makes complete sense. Yep.
But it's going to be interesting to see. But I will be glad that the Roman train has finally stopped.
And some people actually think too that Braun may come and cash in during that match. And I hope that I hope that doesn't happen, man. I don't know. That's just no. But I mean, it may.
Well, every time Strowman has been in a multi-man match, it's been pretty damn interesting. Wasn't that last year when they had that 5-way?
Yeah, talking about the trash can match or some shit.
Yeah.
Where they threw him in the in the trash truck.
No, that was for TLC, but I'm talking about last year when they had. It was, I can't remember who was all in the match. I know obviously it was.
Oh, yeah, I do know what you. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was last year.
So who got the pin over who? So let's see here if I remember right last year. So I think, what's his face? I think Brock pinned Roman last year.
Yeah, I think Roman. Yeah, Roman was the one who got pinned. Yeah.
So you fast forward to this year. Okay, Roman got his dues now. He's gonna pin Brock, but we'll see what happens. Bottom line is, I think Strowman is gonna be champion.
Me too.
If not SummerSlam, the next day. But
when it's all said and done, I really, really believe it's gonna be Strowman.
Because you can't. Just think about it, bro. Okay, so you know this, I know this. They're not gonna end the night with a bunch of boos, bro. So I don't think solely based on that factor, I don't think Roman's gonna win because they're gonna boo the shit out of Roman.
Yeah.
Even though Vince, and thinks it's working, a lot of people online are saying, "Hey, look, the crowd is starting to get behind Roman." At the end of the day, they're gonna be in fucking New York, bro. So they're gonna shit all over Reigns. I'll be really surprised if they don't. I don't give a fuck what kind of storyline.
They're gonna shit on him. Yeah.
And how many teases you have? Like recently, this past couple of weeks, Paul Heyman teased, joining up with Reigns, and Lesnar beating up Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I mean, they had me there for a minute, okay? 60 seconds.
Not me.
60 seconds. And then... but, so yeah.
I was telling everybody when that was going on, I said, man, that is some bullshit. I was like, I know good and damn well Paul Heyman is full of shit, because Paul Heyman is a freaking snake. And it's like, man, anybody that believed that sucker, man, I knew that shit wasn't gonna happen. Now, the only thing that kinda just got on my nerves, man, is them trying to make Brock Lesnar look like a freaking bitch. I didn't like that, because Paul Heyman did not have to come out there and spray Roman in the eyes with that damn pepper spray or whatever the case, whatever it was that he had for Brock Lesnar to come and attack him. That was just a bitch move to me. But I don't know.
It's a bitch move, but that was also considered "quote unquote" old school booking, like to get heel heat. And he didn't really get no heel heat, man, because I'm hearing them saying one more time.
The crowd
and shit. But
I was even in here saying that. Yep.
Because the idea was, okay, look, Paul sprayed him in the eyes. Okay, he sneaks up behind Roman and bombs on Roman. You're supposed to boo that, but nobody booed that,
Nope. Sure didn't.
So Vince just needs to get off the Roman train and go on the Strowman train.
Yeah, because it's pretty much just being a reverse reaction.
But hey, the story's almost over. Where Roman goes from here, I think he's gonna be involved in I don't know, dude. Dean. I just hope he doesn't go all the way down. Like earlier, I was gonna mention. Okay, last month, Bobby Lashley fought Roman Reigns, and now he's in a program with Elias again. So, it'll be interesting to see where Roman goes after this. But he will be somewhere in the title picture, if not just beneath it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's SummerSlam, guys. Our predictions not in a nutshell. If you guys have any thoughts, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe. Remember, all our podcasts are on YouTube. Just search for the Rasslin Cafe or at therasslingcafe.com. Facebook.com/The Rasslin Cafe. One more time, bro. I mean, how much are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward more to NXT TakeOver, which we did not even touch at all, or SummerSlam?
I'm just looking forward to the everything, because it's going to be a nice weekend of something that I enjoy. So I'm looking forward to both.
Yeah, I mean, NXT TakeOver has always been enjoyable. I've always been giving them 9s, 10s, or here and there.
Me too.
So I'm going to be just enjoying it's going to be another marathon, you know, the next 4 days.
Yep.
Do you see any call-ups after Mania? Or shit, after SummerSlam? Anybody?
Probably not.
So, but, okay, so before we leave, which match, I don't care which, you know, you can tell both shows, or one. No, we'll just stick it to SummerSlam. How about that? Which match are you looking forward to the most, and which one is your least interest that you don't want to tune into?
Well, I honestly don't care for the cruiserweight thing, so that'll be that. That's the least that I'm looking forward to. And the one I think that I'm looking forward to the most is the Joe and the AJ. Although I've seen them battle before, I'm still just looking forward to that because I think it's going to be awesome.
Honestly, I hope I don't regret my decision, but I'm looking forward to the Daniel Bryan and the Miz match. My least favorite, I never watched the pre-show anyways, so I'm gonna use one of the matches on the main card. And you may be shocked, but I'm not really looking forward to the Jeff and Shinsuke thing due to the fact that, you know, with us being smarks, Randy's gonna cost him the match.
Exactly.
Retain. It's too soon for Shinsuke to lose. But yeah, if you were to make me choose, I would take Daniel Bryan and The Miz, and then probably, you know, the next one down would be the SmackDown Women's match. Only because of Becky Lynch, Charlotte. You and I already talked about what might possibly happen, but you know, between the two, who goes heel? You know what I mean? If any of them during that match.
Yeah.
And you would be surprised. I'm not really all into those. Yeah, Dean Ambrose returned, but you know, okay, so he'll be involved later on. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna do shit Sunday night. So.
Nope.
Alright guys, so again, thanks for listening for podcast, 27. Grab all the, you know, podcasts on all your platforms, wherever they're available, therasslingcafe.com, YouTube, facebook.com/The Rasslin Cafe, at The Rasslin Cafe, and at Big Southern on Twitter. Keep them likes coming on Facebook. Like I said, we're almost at 100. Someone's gonna get fed once we reach the 100 likes. And we appreciate the support. Tell a friend, tell everybody, and leave some feedback. And everybody enjoy SummerSlam, and we will see you guys for the SummerSlam review.
Yep.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Rasslin Cafe podcast. Follow us on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe and at Big Southern. Check out our website at www